You just won the lottery. A life-changing amount of money. Surely now you'd be happy forever, right? Wrong. Here's the thing. Scientists discovered something shocking about human happiness that completely flips the script on what we think will make us fulfilled. And the answer might surprise you more than any jackpot ever could. In this video, we're diving deep into the psychology of happiness, backed by some of the most rigorous, longest-running research in human history. We're talking about an 85-year Harvard study that literally changed our understanding of the good life. Buckle in, because what you learn today could genuinely reshape how you spend your time, money, and emotional energy. Imagine researchers following the same people for 85 years. Sound impossible, right? But that's exactly what Harvard University did. Starting in 1938, they tracked hundreds of men across their entire lifespans, measuring their health, happiness, relationships, and life outcomes. The results? Revolutionary. The single strongest predictor of a long, happy life wasn't wealth, fame, or even career achievement. It was something far more fundamental: the quality of your close relationships. Think about that for a second. Not money, not status, not Instagram followers, just relationships. The Harvard researchers found that people with strong, meaningful connections to family, friends, and community lived longer, happier, and healthier lives. Those who isolated themselves suffered. Their happiness declined, their health deteriorated, and tragically, they died younger. This wasn't correlation, it was causal. Relationships literally keep us alive and fulfilled. The lead researcher, Robert Waldinger, summarized 85 years of findings in one stunning conclusion. Good relationships keep us happy and healthy. Period. But here's the twist. It's not just about having people around you. It's about the quality of those connections. A house full of toxic relationships will damage you more than solitude. But genuine, deep connections? That's the real currency of human happiness. Everything else is secondary. What makes this study so powerful is its scope and rigor. These weren't surveys or quick observations. Researchers interviewed subjects repeatedly, measured their biological markers, observed their families, and tracked their actual outcomes over nearly a century. Some subjects became CEOs and famous people. Others became alcoholics or struggled with poverty. But the pattern held true. Those with strong relationships weathered life's storms, while those without paid a heavy price in loneliness and regret. So relationships matter. But how much control do you actually have over your happiness? Enter psychologist Sonia Lyubomirsky and her groundbreaking research. Her findings suggest that 50% of your happiness is determined by genetics, your baseline temperament, literally baked into your DNA. About 10% comes from your life circumstances, your salary, your looks, where you live. The remaining 40%, that's the game changer. That 40% is determined by your intentional daily activities and habits. In other words, nearly half your happiness is within your direct control. Let that sink in. You can't choose your genes, and your circumstances are partly fixed. But 40% is yours to shape. This is where hope lives. This is where agency begins. Lyubomirsky's research showed that the activities you choose to do every single day, your habits, your thoughts, your actions, have a profound, measurable impact on your overall well-being. You're not a passive victim of your circumstances or your neurology. You're an active architect of your own happiness. But here's where the hedonic treadmill comes in, and this is where things get really interesting. In 1971, researchers Brickman and Campbell studied lottery winners. They wanted to know, do sudden windfalls create lasting happiness? The answer was shocking. People who won massive jackpots, life-altering amounts of money, returned to their baseline happiness within just 1 year. 1 year. The excitement faded, the novelty wore off, and they were back where they started emotionally. This is the hedonic treadmill. Humans adapt to change incredibly quickly. Your brain sets a happiness baseline, and when circumstances improve, you initially feel great, but then you adapt. You get used to the new car. The bigger house becomes normal. The raise at work is just the salary now, and you're back to your baseline, wanting more. This explains why lottery winners often end up just as unhappy, sometimes more unhappy than before they won. Money created a temporary spike, then adaptation kicked in, leaving them feeling empty and unsatisfied. So combining these findings creates a powerful insight. Major life circumstances create temporary happiness boosts that fade through adaptation. But the 40% you control, your daily habits, your relationships, your chosen activities, that's where lasting happiness lies. This is why someone making $40,000 a year with deep relationships and meaningful hobbies can genuinely be happier than someone making $400,000 with shallow connections and no purpose. The money created an initial spike, but adaptation erased it. Meanwhile, those daily practices and relationships compound over years, creating genuine, durable happiness. Here's a question that would seem to have an obvious answer. What makes you happier, spending money on yourself or spending on other people? Your gut probably says yourself. You love getting things you want. A new gadget, nice food, clothes, experiences, those feel amazing. But a 2018 study published in Science, conducted across multiple cultures, found something that flips this assumption upside down. People who spent money on others experienced measurably greater happiness than those who spent the same amount on themselves. And get this, it didn't matter how much money we're talking about. The study included people from wealthy nations like Canada to developing countries like Uganda. Even as little as $5, when spent on someone else, produced more happiness than $5 spent on yourself. $5. That's the power of generosity. Your brain is literally wired to find more joy in giving than receiving. This is such a fundamental insight about human nature. Yet most people live their entire lives buying things for themselves, wondering why they don't feel happier. Why does this happen? Psychologists think it's tied to our deep social nature. Remember that Harvard study? Relationships are the foundation of happiness. When you give to someone else, you're strengthening that social bond. You're creating a moment of connection. You're triggering your brain's reward systems not through material gain, but through social bonding and meaning-making. Generosity activates the parts of our brain associated with trust, empathy, and social reward. It makes us feel connected, purposeful, and valued. Think about the last time you gave someone a genuine gift or did something kind for someone you care about. That warm feeling in your chest, that sense of meaning, that's not sentimental nonsense. That's your brain releasing dopamine and activating reward centers. And here's the kicker. That happiness persists longer than happiness from buying something for yourself. The initial thrill of a new possession fades through adaptation, but the memory of giving, of making someone smile, of being generous, that sticks with you. It builds identity. It creates narrative meaning in your life. This research fundamentally challenges consumer culture's core message. Buy more, accumulate more, and you'll be happier. The science says the opposite. The most direct route to happiness is to spend money on others. Not just material gifts. Spend money on dinners with friends, contribute to causes you believe in, help someone in need, support your community. Every dollar spent on strengthening your relationships and helping others is a dollar that yields genuine, lasting happiness returns. It's not altruism versus self-interest. It's enlightened self-interest. Generosity is the most selfish path to happiness because it genuinely makes you happier. So we've learned that relationships matter most, that 40% of your happiness is within your control, that adaptation kills the happiness from material gains, and that generosity produces genuine well-being. Now the question is, what do you actually do with this information? How do you translate science into action? Let's get specific. First, audit your relationships. Not casually, seriously. Who are the people you're closest to? How often do you actually connect with them? Not scrolling through their posts. Real connection, genuine conversation, physical presence when possible. If you're neglecting key relationships, that's your number one priority. Nothing else matters more. Schedule time with people you care about like it's a business meeting. This sounds unromantic, but it's honest. Our lives are busy and chaotic, and relationships atrophy through neglect. Pick one person this week. Call them. Have a real conversation. Make plans to see them. If someone is isolated, reach out. If relationships are strained, invest in repair. You're not being sentimental. You're literally investing in your long-term health and happiness. The Harvard study tracked people for 85 years. The outcome was clear. At the end of their lives, people with strong relationships looked back with satisfaction. Those without regret deeply. Don't be the latter. Second, identify your 40% controllable activities. These are your daily practices: meditation, exercise, creative pursuits, learning, helping others, time in nature, journaling, socializing, meaningful work. Different things work for different people, but the research is clear. Consistent, intentional activities compound into lasting happiness. Don't expect one meditation session or one workout to transform your life. That's expecting the hedonic treadmill to work in your favor. Instead, commit to small, daily practices. 15 minutes of meditation daily produces more happiness than 1 month of sporadic practice. Daily exercise beats an intense gym week. Regular connection beats occasional deep conversations. And here's the practical magic. Many of the most effective happiness-building activities cost nothing. Meditation is free. Walking in nature is free. Calling a friend is free. Reading is free if you use libraries. Creating art is nearly free. Having meaningful conversations costs nothing. This means you're not vulnerable to the hedonic treadmill trap of material purchases. You can adapt to free activities the same way you adapt to possessions. Daily nature walks don't get boring because every day is different. Conversations evolve. Creative pursuits have infinite depth. These activities feed your soul in ways that stuff simply cannot. Third, and this ties everything together, build generosity into your budget and lifestyle. Not someday when you're rich. Now, with whatever you have. If you have $5, spend it on someone else. If you have 50, find ways to help. If you have 500, get creative with impact. Volunteer your time. That's a form of generosity that's literally free but incredibly powerful. Cook for someone. Help a friend move. Mentor someone. Listen deeply to someone who needs to be heard. These acts of giving strengthen your relationships, trigger your brain's reward systems, and create meaning. They're investments in the 40% of happiness you control. Finally, recognize the adaptation trap and protect yourself from it. When good things happen, a promotion, a purchase, an achievement, enjoy the spike of happiness, but know it's temporary. The hedonic treadmill will kick in. Don't chase happiness through external wins. Instead, build a stable foundation through relationships, daily practices, and generosity. This creates what researchers call baseline happiness, a consistent, durable sense of well-being that doesn't require constant external validation or wins. You're building a happiness infrastructure, not chasing happiness events. This approach transforms how you spend your time, your money, and your emotional energy. And the science says it actually works. The science of happiness isn't about luck or genetics or money. It's about understanding what humans genuinely need: connection, meaning, growth, and contribution. The Harvard study taught us that. Lyubomirsky's research showed us we have agency. The hedonic treadmill revealed the trap of material chasing, and the generosity research proved that the pathway to lasting happiness runs through other people, not away from them. You now have a map. The question is, will you follow it? If you found this fascinating and want more deep dives into the psychology of human behavior, hit that subscribe button. We release weekly insights into what actually makes us tick. And leave a comment. What's one relationship you're going to invest in this week? What's one generous act you'll commit to? Let's build this community together. Because remember, the strongest predictor of happiness isn't what you achieve. It's who you do it with.